everyone, welcome back to another mystery soap series video. The first person to correctly guess the theme of this mystery soap collection will be the winner, and you will win a $25 gift card to my Etsy soap shop where you can choose any soaps you'd like. In order to win, you must be a subscriber of mine, and I kindly ask that you like all of this mystery soap videos. You can guess as many times as you'd like. I only ask that you leave your guesses in each individual comment. That way it makes it easier for me to find, and it helps with the engagement. So without further ado, let's move on to the next mystery soap. So as always, I have my base oils here and my lye water solution here, which I have already added my sodium lactate to. And I've also already poured off a little bit of my base oils because we're going to be doing another accent color for this soap. So I wanted to have a little bit of that oil set aside so I could disperse my colorant in. It just makes it easier to mix the colors when I'm ready to. So as always, we're going to start by combining our lye water solution with our base oils here. Right, and I am going to start mixing this with my stick blender to emulsion. I'm going to keep this a little on the undermix side because I do want to give myself plenty of time to work with mixing the other colorant that I'm also going to be doing. So I do have my accent color here. I am going to pour some of this into there. Need to be careful that I don't include too much because this is going to be a very small accent section of the soap. Now I want to add my colorant to the main part of my soap. So we're going to be coloring this a dark blue kind of color. So we're gonna mix this in with the stick blender. I wanna be careful not to over mix it though because I don't want this to accelerate too much. All right, and now for my secret fragrance oil, I am going to measure off some of this for the actual accent portion of the soap. And then I want to pour this off into another pitcher so I have 2 parts of my blue. All right, so now I want to do about half and half of each of these. I'm gonna try to keep these as equal as I can. All right, and then we're gonna do half of the fragrance oil in here and half in this batch. Now I'm just going to hand mix this and we're gonna be ready to pour, but I do want to further accelerate only one part of my blue batch because I need to do layers, so I want one to set up quicker than the other. Right, so this one I'm going to stick blend just a little bit longer so this one will go to trace quicker so we can pour the next layer. All right, so for this first layer, we are just going to do a simple pour and just get this all into the mold here. And I want to let this layer set because I want to be able to pour the next layer relatively quickly. So I'm just going to let this one sit. And I'm going to actually put all the rest of this into the next layer. Okay, so I am kind of chancing it just a little bit on if it's ready for this next layer or not. So if I tilt it, I can see that it's kind of staying solid, but it is not a very thick one, but I don't have a whole lot of time for this one. And I also want really straight lines. So I'm going to just be very careful, and I'm going to use my spatula to break the fall because I need these to still be very runny and flowable so it'll level out nicely. This one, I'm going to do my very best to kind of use my spatula to break the fall of this. So I just want to go very slow. Just let this move all the way down. Okay, now I want this to be very clean, so I'm going to carefully kind of clean up this edge here. Try to get some of that off of the edge. Okay, now we're going to let this layer set up enough so we can pour the last layer of blue on top. So one thing that's kind of bothering me just a little bit is the more that this color has set, the more it has turned into like this gray kind of like purplish gray color, and that's my fault because I had used two different colorants for the blue color I was trying to create, and I had forgot that one of those blues kind of gives me some color problems, which is what happened now. I'm hoping that this will turn a little bit more blue as it cures, but this was not really the color I was going for. And as I was mixing up the soap frosting color, this is what I was going for the bottom of the soap. So now it's kind of like, oh, we're gonna have like this grayish purple bottom and then this bright blue top, which is what I intended for the rest of the soap. So sometimes things like this happen. I'm hoping that the color will go a little bit more blue as it cures, but kind of hate whenever stuff like that kind of goes wrong, and I kept meaning to take out that blue colorant because I knew it had given me problems in the past, and it's been a while since I have been soaping and I forgot about that, so unfortunately the colors aren't quite right. This is exactly what I was going for, and I just used one of the colorants, so I know for sure which one was the problem. So unfortunately things like that happen sometimes. Hopefully it won't ruin the whole design though. So I do think this layer is firm enough now that we can pour this last layer, which is good because I don't want this layer to set up too thick because I want it to still be able to run nicely and level out. So again, I'm going to be very careful. I want to try to break the fall with my spatula just in case that this isn't fully set. I just want to slowly start layering this color on top. Okay, so we've got that last layer poured now. I'm gonna let this set aside to firm up the top, and while I'm doing that, I will start preparing the soap frosting. All right, guys, so we are ready to do our soap frosting. Now, it is actually the next morning because that is how long it took for my soap frosting to set up and thicken up. So I had to actually let it set overnight completely to get it to a pipeable consistency. So that fragrance oil definitely behaves almost a little too well in my opinion. But we're gonna go ahead and start piping, and unfortunately it looks like we're gonna be stuck with this gray kind of color. So that's a little upsetting, but what can I do? All right, we are ready to pipe now. I can tell I'm leaning just a little bit, so we're gonna try to overcorrect that with the top dollop. All right, guys, so we have the embeds here, and you might be thinking, what is that? So of course this is a mystery soap, so I can't just tell you, but let me say that the soap embeds are exactly what they look like. So if you think it looks like something, that's most likely what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and start adding these to the soap. I'm gonna do 2 of these per bar, and I'm gonna do these on the sides. Let's see if I can place it this way. Now, in retrospect, I wish I didn't make the frosting so similar to this embed, but that's okay. All right, now we're gonna do the topper pieces. Like I said, these are exactly what they look like. Alright guys, so this is the soap design. I feel like this one probably might throw people for a little bit of a loop, but that's okay. That's what makes the mystery soap so much
fun at trying to guess it. So definitely put your guesses down below if you have any. So I'm gonna set this aside. We're gonna let it sit for probably 2 to 3 days, and then we'll come back and cut it open. Okay guys, I have unmolded the soap and we are ready to cut these into bars. I did let this one set a few extra days. This one just kind of was a little bit on the soft side. So now we're gonna go ahead and start cutting these. As always, I'm gonna start by cutting just a little sliver off the end here so we have a nice clean edge on this bar. All right, and we are ready to make the first cut. Now, this one's probably not gonna be that exciting of a reveal of what the bar looks like, because you can probably guess just from looking at the side, but this is what the first bar looks like. Now, I will say there is another detail I am going to be adding to this. I haven't decided if I'm showing that yet or not, so there will definitely be another element added to this that you will see later. I am pleased to say that at least some of the blue color did return to the bar of soap. Now, it's still a bit more of like a violet-y kind of blue, but that is okay in the end. It is way better than that gray, sludgy, purple gray thing it was before, so I'm actually quite happy with this. Although I wish it would have been a little bit more blue, the violet is okay as well. Okay guys, so this is what the soap design looks like. If you have any guesses, definitely be sure to leave them in the comments. You can leave as many guesses as you would like. And the first person to correctly guess the entire collection will win a gift card to my Etsy soap shop, and you can choose any soaps you'd like. So here is the hint for this mystery soap. Alright guys, don't forget to leave your guesses below. This is also the very last video that will count as far as guesses, because the next video will be the final reveal. So it goes without saying that any comments left on the final video will not count. So be sure to get your guesses in now. You can leave as many comments as you'd like. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later.